Thanks, Leland. I'm joined now by the Heritage Foundation's Senior Research Fellow for Northeast Asia, Bruce Klingner. He previously served as the CIA's Deputy Division Chief for Korea. Bruce, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
So we've seen all these photos, right, of Secretary Pompeo shaking hands with Kim Jong-un, smiling, laughing while they're walking down the hallway, all the feel-good photos and tweets. But where is this all going? What does it add up to?
Well, we don't know how much progress the Secretary made, but I suspect not much. He said that they made progress, but it was just one step on a very long path ahead, and a member of his delegation said they're in for a long haul ahead. So the last time Pompeo was in Pyongyang, he claimed progress, and then North Korea, as soon as he was wheels up, let out a 3-page screed against him, criticizing he and all the administration's proposals. So I think it's a long road ahead.
Your analysis echoes things that at least 2 national security sources have told me over the last week, which is that all this touting of progress, when it, real North Korea experts, right, nuclear experts say, when it comes to stuff happening on the ground since Singapore, there is no progress. Well,
we're even trying to put meat on the bare bones of the Singapore summit communique, and what I've heard is that there's been no progress, no success, no breakthroughs behind the scenes. So we're trying to get North Korea to really delineate what steps it's going to do to actually denuclearize. We're hearing promises, but they always use very vague terms which mean very different things from for the North than from the United States.
So I've also had another national security source tell me this week that they're not in favor of the president meeting with Kim for a second summit. It sounds like a lot of folks in the community don't think it's a great idea. Why is President Trump so gung-ho on it?
Well, he sees himself as the chief negotiator, that he can do things that others can't. I think the Singapore summit was not a success. I think there were a number of mistakes made there. So, yeah, I think the administration is trying to hold off the president's summit. They're trying to get actual work done ahead of time, getting progress with North Korea to really define the steps that they need to take. What are the timelines? What are the linkages? That's sort of nuts and bolts diplomacy, which you can't really do at a leader level.
But I can't imagine President Trump wants to forge ahead with all the effort that another summit with Kim entails, unless he really thinks there's something significant, substantive to get out of it. If you kind of put on the president's hat for a second and talk to me from his perspective, can you guess at what his...
Right.
At his point of view here, what is he thinking about it?
He would see the Singapore summit as a success, that he did not give away things that he didn't get anything in return for. He is very eager, apparently, to sign a peace declaration or end of Korean War declaration, which I think everyone in the administration is against. It's a feel-good gesture that won't really achieve any objectives. We won't get anything specifically from the North in return for it. And it could sort of set us on a slippery slope of, if you've signed a peace declaration, how can you not sign a peace treaty? Why do you have so many troops here? How can you still have trading with the enemy act sanctions? So on security, it, I think, has some dangerous ramifications, and it could further decrease the international resolve to maintain pressure on North Korea.
So I was just going to say, when you talked about the peace treaty, doesn't that directly undercut the maximum pressure campaign that the administration insists is still underway, even though there's not much evidence of it?
Right. It does. It's like if you don't have a war, if you don't have an enemy, why do you have sanctions? And we've already fallen off the maximum pressure campaign. The president said he doesn't even want to use the term anymore. He said that he's holding in abeyance 300 North Korean entities, which would be violating U.S. law. That's equal to the total number of North Korean entities that the Obama and Trump administrations sanctioned in 9.5 years.
300 different entities. That's amazing. Bruce Klingner, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.